Hi everyone, this is Tuplex. Welcome back. So as I mentioned yesterday, I was looking for some mods that would give me water anywhere I wanted to, and there were two candidates that I looked at. One was water fill, and with water fill, you basically you make water fill, and it goes in your inventory just like landfill does. Okay, so it's kind of like this, but it's water instead, and you can just put it down the same way that you do with landfill. So it's pretty easy to use, but it seemed kind of weird to me just to do it that way. So the other one I looked at is a mod called Water Well, and that's the one that I decided to use. So the way Water Well works is you put this pump down and it gives you water, right? So what we can do with and it's right here, you can make it with essentially the same ingredients as a pump jack, but it's a little more expensive, I guess. But you can craft these and then you just put them down wherever you need water. So we can tile them down here. And we can put one maybe every other row or every row, wherever we need to feed water into the turbines. And by doing that, we can just landfill this entire area and we won't have to worry about the water at all. Okay, so that's what I'm going to set up here today. But first I want to put in another pair of stations over here on this side. There we go. Make sure we can reach all the way. All right. And then we'll set up the reactors and stuff over here. Let's see, we can get rid of that. Okay, so the first thing I will need to do, I suppose, is put in the landfill. But as usual, I have too much junk in my inventory and I need to get rid of some stuff. Well, alright, let's see what we can do with this. Okay, so I'll fill in at least this much. Yeah, I guess I don't need a whole lot of landfill to do that. Because I was going to go 4 tiles away from here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's give it more space. 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's give it at least 8 tiles. Before we start placing things down. That way we make sure we've got enough room to unload things from the trains. Okay. I'll just go ahead and get rid of the rest of this landfill. Okay, we're going to need some more. Don't these bots reach? Okay. They want to do it the slow way. There we go. I wish there was a way to prioritize these things. Maybe there is, and I just don't know it. Okay, so if I'm going to be using the water well, here at the end, like that. Yeah, the other thing that I want to do is I want to make sure that I leave room to put a column of roboports so that we can, well, maybe I don't need that. No, I am going to need that. Because I need to make sure that we can cover these chests with roboports. All right, so I'll copy this first. Okay, and then I'm going to paste it up here. Okay. And that looks about right. And we're going to bring the pipes over from the other side of the base. Okay. And then the other reactor goes there. If I use the big poles here, will that reach across? Yeah, then it will. Okay. Awesome. Okay. So now if I use traditional roboports, yeah, this might not be good enough. The drone charging stations are 2 by 2. Let's make one of those. And maybe I can use those instead of the regular roboports. And yeah, there's a roundabout there. We'll get to that in a little bit. First I need plastic and batteries. Okay. So let's make a couple of those guys. All right. Oh, still crafting. Almost done. Okay. Yeah, and these cover big area, and they're only 2 by 2. So what I can do is I can put them like so. And that way I'll be able to extend the network all the way up. Okay. And then this can go right there. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to need more than that eventually, once I get more bonuses and stuff. I just don't know how much more yet. Okay, these are heating up. That's great. Yeah, so I'll just continue to modify this build as we need to do so. All right. One, two, three. How many is that? That's 14. You know, I'm starting to not like all this Roboport coverage. Because like if I deconstruct something that's small and close to me, I don't want to have to wait for bots from the main base to get there. Okay. So then we'll put the pump. And then after the pump, we can put the turbines. Just like that. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, let me see if that was the correct ratio that I need now. Yeah, I need 2.5. Yeah, that's right, because I need 2.5 for each of these, and I have 6. So 2.5 times 6 is what, 12? It's actually 15. Okay. Should be making power. But it is not. Oh, and that's because I need more pipe. There we go. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 2 is 12. 0.5 is another 3, that's 15. So I need one more turbine here. Although I think the mod page ratios, I think they said 14, right? Let me look this up again. we go. 2 reactors, 12 heat exchangers, 28 steam. Yeah, so 14 per side. So maybe that 2.5 is rounded. Okay, let's make some room. Actually, we can bring the train down here to help with that. There we go. Okay. All right. And then we just need to build the same thing on the other side. Okay, so I've got 2 tiles. 1, 2, then 6. And then a pump. I need one of those water wells. Okay, so there'll be 2 more of those. And then I think I can just copy that like that. Okay, and then we've got to connect this side to power as well. Where did I put the other one? Just in front of the pump. Okay. And then we put our water well right there. Okay. And then we're making steam on that side as well. Okay, so now we'll need to, we should set up a circuit so that we don't burn so that we don't burn solid fuel unless we really need to. So let's go set up a switch to, or set up a circuit to shut off our steam power when we don't need it. And we will do that by monitoring the charge on our accumulators. Okay. All right, so I'm going to connect to one of these accumulators and bring the signal wire down here to the pumps, to the water pumps. All right, so if you look there, you can see that the accumulators give us a signal that's called A. And right now it's 100. What the A signal represents is how much charge we have in the accumulators. So 100 means that it's 100% charged. Okay. So what we can do here on these pumps is we can tell them to turn on only when A is less than, actually let's do this differently. All right, I'm going to disconnect that. And I want a decider combinator. because, okay, look, if I set this up and let's say I tell these to turn on only when A is less than 25%, let's say. If we start to use up too much nuclear power, or we start to use more power than the nuclear can provide, then what'll happen at that point is the charge on the accumulators will start to go down. When it gets to 25, these pumps will turn on, water will flow back up here, these will start to make power again. The charge will immediately rise above 25 and they'll turn off. And then what'll happen is these will just be turning off and on really fast. Okay, so we can get around that by using a latch. Whoops. So we do it when S is greater than R. We output S with a value of 1. And we feed it back on itself. Okay, and then I'm going to make 2 more decider combinators. And these are going to get the A signal. And then the output is going to go to the input of the latch. And then the output of the latch will go to the pumps. All right, so we're going to tell this to turn on when S is greater than 0. Okay, so I want it to turn on when A is less than 25. And then I'm going to output an S. That's going to turn on the latch. And when A is greater than 75, I'm going to give it an R signal, which will reset the latch and turn the pumps off. Okay, and we can put a light here, just so we have an indicator. And we can tell that to turn on when S is greater than 0. And I'll also give it a color. Tell it to use colors. Okay, so this light will turn on when the pumps are turned on. You can see that right now they're turned off. Almost forgot about that guy over there. All right. We're going to have to hook him up as well. Okay, and give him the same condition. All right, so that's shut off too. Eventually the water will empty out, and then that'll stop making power too. Okay, and then we'll be getting all of our power from nuclear as long as we have fuel, which might not be very long. Okay, so how can we see this work? Well, I could disconnect. I could disconnect the nuclear from all the rest of the power. Okay, so let's go do that, and then that'll give us a demonstration of how this works. hopefully I've done it correctly so that it actually does work. Okay. So if I remove that, then that side is still connected. Oh, okay, I'll have to remove this. And remove that. Okay. So now there's no more nuclear going to the rest of the base. If we come over here, we can see the A value rapidly decreasing. So we're pulling all the charge out of our accumulators. When it gets to 25, then the pump should turn back on. Click, there we go. We're making power. Okay, and it's slowly recharging the accumulator. And then once the accumulator gets back above 75, then the pumps should shut off again. Right, there it goes. Okay, so that's how we can, and it'll continue to make power until all the water is used up that's inside the pipes. So that's why they continue to run for a moment. Okay, and now we can see that it's dropping back down again. And then it'll click back on when it gets to 25. There it goes. Okay, so that works. And so that's a way that we can keep the steam power around as a backup energy source. Okay, and then once this gets charged up again, then the steam will shut off once more. So that way we can use the steam as, kind of a source of backup power, or it can help us out if we start to run low on electricity. Now, once we get a lot of nuclear, we might as well just tear it up because, having 120 megawatts or 80 megawatts or whatever it is, when we're normally using like 1.2 gigawatts, it's not going to make a big difference. Okay, but at least we know that the control circuit works, and I'm sure there's a simpler way to do it with fewer combinators, but this makes it easier for me to understand the circuit, by keeping all my various signals evaluated separately, even though I use more combinators that way. It makes it a little bit easier for me to set up and understand it when I go back to look at it again later. Okay, so that's about it for nuclear power for now, at least. Okay, now let's get to the trains. I'm responding to two different suggestions. Okay, one suggestion I've had from a couple different sources on more than one occasion is, Tuplex, why do you make this big four-way crossing when you could just replace it with a roundabout? It'll take up less room, and supposedly the traffic is smoother with a roundabout. Now, I'm not sure that I believe that the traffic is really smoother, but definitely it takes up less room. It uses a lot less materials. Like this, this intersection as I've designed it, right? It's got 44 chain signals in it. I mean, it just uses a lot of stuff to build this thing. Okay, so that was one suggestion. And that suggestion I just never acted on because I kind of like this design, just because I came up with it on my own. And then the other suggestion was, Tuplex, could you put one of the big robo hubs in the center of the four-way junctions? because if you did that, rather than putting one in the middle of the grid section, you could just have one in each corner, and then you would get the same coverage. You know, overall, eventually you would get the same coverage. You would be covered everywhere. But then you wouldn't need this thing in the middle of your build area because it would just be in the corners of each one of those. And I really like that idea. But these things don't fit. They won't fit in the middle of my intersection. Okay, but they will fit in the middle of a junction, of a roundabout rather, quite easily. So I have decided that I will be reworking all of my junctions to roundabouts. Where is my train? There it is. Okay, and I've done one just to get it started. Let's go over there and then I'll show you that design. And that one I designed it myself. I didn't use anybody's blueprint, and I'll show you how I built it once we get over there. The other nice thing about the roundabouts is you can do U-turns. Right, so if I wanted to go the other way, I wouldn't have to go all the way around and then turn left. I could just come up here, flip around, and go. All right, so to build this, what I did is, you know, these are, let me show you. All right, this is what my normal intersection looks like. And you can see that the roundabout actually fits within that inner square shape. Okay, so it takes up a lot less room, obviously. It uses far fewer signals. So basically to build this, what I did is I put this down. I removed everything except for these end pieces, so I knew where to set it up. I built the circle. Now the circle is, it's not the tightest radius you can make in the game. The way that I built that circle, just because of the spacing of my tracks and everything. Where's my rail? Here we go. I have one segment, and then a radius, and then a segment, and then the radius, segment, radius, segment, radius. Okay, so that's what I have here, as you can see. Okay, so that works rather nicely. And then I have, it's nothing but chain signals on the inside. So coming in, there's a chain signal there and there to cover this junction. Chain signal here, which maybe is not even necessary since I'm going to be going this way. I probably don't really need that chain signal, because I'm either going to go that way or I'm going to continue around. Yeah, I think I don't even need it. Yeah, okay. And then chain signals here and here to come into here. I don't need that. I do need this, because these are the merges. You don't need a signal on a split. You need signals on merges. I think that's all that I need, to be honest. Okay, and then if I want to turn left here, then the train will come up here, go around, and then straight. You know, a right turn, obviously, and then going straight across. We just do that. And then, like I said, you can do a U-turn in there as well. Okay. Now I just need to get my Roboport in there, or my Robo Hub, whatever you want to call it. So let's go back home. So I can pick some up. I think I have some more constructed already. Yeah. All right, and let's go back up there, and then we'll figure out the best way to place the robot hub and power it. Now I want to try to maintain the symmetry that I have here, but I am going to have to remove this. All right, and then that looks like it's exactly in the center. Let me put something in each corner there. Okay, it fits in. Yeah, it's like it's a precise fit. That is the exact center of the junction, which makes this quite elegant. Now, if I want to be able to rotate this thing any which way from my blueprint, then I'm going to have to put these power poles on all four sides, right? Which is kind of ugly. See, that's the part I don't care about too much. This is what I have to do to charge this thing. Because I need these power poles there. But yeah, this is just... it's just nasty. Aren't there any better power poles in the game? No, there are not. That's kind of a bummer. I mean, I could just do this. Nah, let's just do it. Let's do 4. But I'll clean up the wires so that it doesn't look so horrible. Okay, so we're going to cut that. We're going to cut that. We're going to cut that. We're going to connect that. We're going to cut that. We're going to cut that. And we're going to cut this. Okay. Just making sure I get my signal wires, which I don't really use. Okay. the green wire. And we need another red wire there. Okay, and then since we've got all this infrastructure here, we might as well throw in some lights. There. That's not too bad, is it? All right, and then it covers, there'll be a lot of overlap in the middle. All right, so that's going to be, this is going to be the new junction. All right, and if you want to, we can demonstrate a U-turn. Just like that. Really nice. Okay, so thanks for the suggestions, guys. So what I'll do as I have time is I'm going to start going around and replacing these things. Let me blueprint this. All right, so we'll blueprint, and we need to go up to the first pole and signals like that. I'm going to save that. Let's delete that. That's the old version. Okay, and then I have to get rid of all the junk. Get rid of that. Oh yeah, get rid of the belts. Okay, that looks good. So this is a roundabout with Robo Hub. And then what I'm going to do is it would be cool if you could make copies. I don't, maybe, hey, what happened to my title? Roundabout with Robot Hub. Save. Okay. It's a robot hub, right? Drone hub. I should change the icon. We'll do a rail and a circle and a robot hub. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to export the string, copy, and then import the string. Okay, so now I have a copy of that blueprint, and I'm going to make a roundabout without the hub, just for putting the intersection in places where I don't want or don't need the robot coverage yet. But other than that, it'll be exactly the same. So that if I do want to add robot coverage, I can just plop the hub down and everything else will be in the correct position. Okay, and then I'll add those to my rail blueprint book. should probably add this in there as well. Let's get rid of these curvy pieces at the end. We'll call this stations. There are 2 of them. And I'll put that in the blueprint book as well. Okay. All set. So that's going to do it for today, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.